Hey guys, Internet Dude here. Hey, in this video I want to share with you the things that I really like about my Jaguar XJ R. So my car is a 2006 Jaguar XJ R, and they've been making the Jag since, well, the XJ since 1968. This car in particular is just kind of a summer cruiser for me, just drive it on nicer days in the summer. So the first thing that I really like about the car is the styling. When you look at this car, especially from the front, it's pretty obvious that's a Jag. It's really unmistakable. A lot of cars today, they kind of look like other cars and you can't quite tell, but there we go, Jaguar. It's got the nice leaper there. So I like that the wheels are the upgraded 20-inch wheels. I think they look fantastic. I also like the British racing green paint. That's kind of a quintessential British color. So styling is definitely the number one thing that I like about the car. It's, gets me a lot of compliments. I can't believe how many people of various ages have given a thumbs up or asked questions, parked beside me in a red light or at the gas station, for example. A lot of people really like this car. I would say I probably get as many comments, compliments, almost as much as I do with my Tesla. So the other thing that I really like about the car, and P.S. search Draguar on YouTube. Give you an entertaining series there. So the other thing that I really like about the car is the fact that it's an aluminum monocoque structure. So it's a typical unibody car. There's no traditional body-on-frame system here. And the body, like literally, it's as much aluminum as the Tesla. So this car is not going to corrode in the same way as a typical car. We're not going to get rust along the bottom edge of the doors and around the wheel arch and things like that are typical on a typical four-door sedan that would be made of metal. So I definitely like that it's aluminum. That's going to give this car a lot more longevity. So the next thing I'll mention here is just that just how quiet the cabin is. Like, probably can't experience it. It's a bit windy out here. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but if we hop in here and close the door. Did you hear that? I could hear the clock moving. It's just really quiet in here. The side glass is actually double layer acoustic glass. It's special. And the windshield also has an acoustic component to it. And I think the other glass as well, but I definitely like the quietness. So the other thing about this Jag, and probably all Jags of this era and maybe beyond, I'm not really familiar with newer Jags, but just the build quality and the craftsmanship that goes into the car. This wood here, you see on the dash, on the steering wheel, you see that top and bottom. This here as well, and then on the doors, can you see that? This is genuine, real burl wood. It's kind of a veneer, I suppose, but like this is one piece that kind of goes across there. It just flows. I don't know, maybe there's just something about the wood. I really like the wood. I think the color combinations in here are great. You could just tell, just touching, feeling, driving, that there's so much more quality in this car than, say, a comparable priced new car, or even, a comparable priced kind of used car in the range. So like this car, I bought it 2 years ago and I paid about $15,000 for it. This car is $85,000 new, approximate. So to pick up a car with 85,000 kilometers, well, it had under 80 when I bought it, but for 15 grand, and to get that kind of craftsmanship and quality, it's just an excellent value as a used car, and you know, I haven't had really many problems with it. So that's something I really like, is just that craftsmanship and quality that go into it. Another thing that I like is the fact that the car has air suspension, and I haven't had a single problem with the air suspension. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to buy a whatever, you know, BMW, Jag, whatever, because the air suspension, if it fails, can be a costly repair. And you know, that's a valid point. Like I say, I've had the car a little over 2 years, haven't had any problems with the suspension, and I do like the ride quality that it gives. I don't know if you saw my other video, but if you look, I have the 20-inch tires, so there's not a lot of sidewall there. So that makes some bumps a little bit bumpier and a little rougher riding, but overall, like if you have pretty nice streets, pretty smooth streets in the highway, the ride is actually quite smooth and quite nice. The air suspension as well is kind of an adaptive suspension, and what that means is when you're cornering, it will kind of firm up one side to decrease body roll. It's a pretty advanced system, pretty technologically advanced system for the time. This car came out in 2004, and so it's pretty advanced. It doesn't let you do the height in the same way like the Tesla. You can alter the height, but it does handle really well in that regard. So another thing that I like is that the car has rear parking sensors, but it also has front parking sensors. And in a car this size, you can see there and there. So there's 4 front parking sensors, and it's really nice to have with a car of this size. This car is approximately the size of the Tesla in terms of length. So one of the other things I like is the Alpine 12-speaker audio system. The stereo system in this is actually quite good. You've got a speaker down here in the door at the bottom, kind of a woofer. And then there's another speaker hidden in here, if you can see that. That's the tweeter. So each door has 2 speakers like that. And then inside, there's a speaker there and there. And then, can't quite see that, but in the back there's some smaller subwoofers. I think they're 6-inch. And there's I guess that'd be kind of the head unit, but it's integrated with the screen as well. You can see the audio button there. So you got AM, FM, CD, and then CDC is the CD changer. So there's a CD changer in the trunk. And it sounds good. I'd probably play a little bit for you, but you know, YouTube copyright, they'd probably flag my video. So, but take my word for it, it sounds good. It's better than the stereo in my Tesla 85D, but the premium stereo in my new Tesla, the P100D, is actually better than this one. I probably should have cleaned under the hood here, but the last thing I want to mention for things I like about my Jaguar XJ is the supercharged V8. So this is a 4.2 liter V8, and it is supercharged, which gives it 400 horsepower, which it's a blast to drive, I'll tell you. Now, I don't really like putting gas in. It takes premium, and you spend a lot more in gas than you do in the Tesla driving, so that's why I tend not to drive this too much. It comes out on nice days in the summer. This particular year, for 2006, got variable valve timing, which boosted the horsepower and I believe the efficiency and economy a little bit as well. The only modification I really have that's, well, there's a couple small modifications here, but there's normally a plastic engine cover with a little bit of foam on the bottom to keep down noise. The supercharger, man, this mess of hoses is just incredible. You can look at some of the hoses there, and then down there. It's just, wow, it's crazy how many hoses are there. But see if you can see. The supercharger pulley is there, and then it's underneath there. the actual supercharger sits on top of the engine, and then these two things are intercoolers. So this shiny bit here, this is not factory. I replaced the stock black plastic intake tube with this one. It's called a Caldoofy intake. This is just a polished pipe that smooths out the airflow going into the engine from the air intake box. I have a standard paper filter. Goes through the mass airflow sensor through that tube. Maybe in another video I might show you why the Caldoofy intake is a little better than what you get from stock. Alright, well, that's what I really like about my Jaguar. Do you have an XJ? You might have found this video because you're thinking of buying one, or you own one and you want to see, oh, what's good, what's bad. I'm definitely happy with the car, and I mentioned all those things that I really like about it, and I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts. Do you agree with the list that I gave? Are there other things that you would add, or things that you don't agree with? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I hope you found the video informative and helpful, and I appreciate you watching. Definitely give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.